Hello everyone. Let's let's set our intention for this week. I have my love being cards, and before I get started, I want to just let you about an uh-oh, a little bit of feedback. I am going to be offering a hi Veronica. I'm going to be offering a 3-day free forgiveness mini series on Wednesday, starting on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday at 5 p.m. Across my channels. So on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. And what I'm going to talk about the first day is really about how our unwillingness to forgive gets in the way of our life. It gets in our life, in the way of our life. And I think what's most important and more important than anything else, I will never ever tell you that you should forgive somebody for something that they have done to you. I will never ever say that to you, because the process of forgiveness is really an individual experience. I am a firm believer, having said that, that part of the reason why we come into this experience of life, this thing that we are like informed on this earth, is to experience opportunities to forgive. And I know that sounds kind of shitty, but that's how we evolve into a greater sense of awareness. So I will never tell you this is what you should do. And I will also offer to you, when you are ready, to learn, and I'm going to show you a very practical way to move through the state of forgiveness. Now, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, we're going to be talking about lots of things around forgiveness, including how it basically creates a sense of dis-ease within us when we have the unwillingness to forgive. And on Saturday, which is my VIP session, which I'm super excited about because it's going to be highly engaging and lots of opportunity for reflection, I'm going to walk you through the process of actually learning the steps for forgiveness, learning the steps. And this is a culmination of so much work that I have done around the area of forgiveness in my own personal life, which I will share on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. The opportunities that I have had to forgive. But I will show you how to move through these steps that, and I'm not even saying, hey, you need to forgive the big, like the big ones. Like when you think about your life and you're like, oh, I had this really horrible thing happen when I was 5 and I can't believe, and I'm still holding on to some of that hurt and the pain and the resentment and all of the things that happened. It's like, I'm not necessarily saying, hey, you have to do that, but there may be somebody that you work with that you just, just kind of gets on your nerves. The thing that happened 2 years ago and you haven't really been able to let go of that, still sort of lingering in the back of your mind. I am telling you that from an energetic standpoint, that kind of stuff, it stays. And it impacts how we experience life, how we experience relationships, and how we experience the world, how we experience all the things that we move in and out of from a day to day. And when we start to become aware of how freeing it is to release the things, even stuff that you haven't even thought about in a long time, our body keeps a memory. It keeps a memory of the things. And so on that Saturday, that VIP session, I'm going to walk everyone through the process of this. There's like 8 steps of moving through forgiveness. And you start with the little things. You start with the little things, because the better you get at this process and the better you get at awareness, like where you are emotionally, you build the capacity to be able to move through it with such ease, just the practice of it. And then you can look at things that are like the big ones, the ones that bring up a lot of pain and emotional turmoil, like now you have the skill set to be able to begin to move through that experience. So I hope that you'd be willing to join us. I'm excited about this. It's Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, live 5 p.m. across my social media platforms. And then the VIP session is on Saturday. Now, that is in the link in my bio if you are on Instagram. And actually, I didn't even drop it in Facebook. I will drop it in Facebook where you could register for that. It is $27. It is the cheapest I will ever offer this, because it's going to be rolled into my signature program, which is the Sacred Journey Within. And that's going to be just a part of the entire process. Okay. All right. So I hope to see you there. I think it will be a lot of fun. Let's pull some cards. 1, 2, or 3, or 2 cards, or 3 cards, whatever resonates with you. You're like, I'm going to take all 3 cards because I think these messages might be for me. Then do it. Okay, here we go. I'm shuffling a little. I haven't used my cards in several days, so trying to get my energy back into them. Here they are. All right, let's do card number 1. I'm going to pull them first. Card number 1. First card, Earth Angels. Card number 2, Archangel Chamuel, the Angel of Love. Card number 3, Inner Guidance, the answers, the answers, the answers. All right, here we go. If you chose card number 1, Earth Angel, I give as I receive. Okay, so what came to me immediately was this message is for those of you who are really good at giving, but not very good at receiving. Hi, Pam. Not very good at receiving. Okay, so if you chose card number 1, Earth Angels is really about allowing yourself to receive love, to receive kindness, to receive gifts. And that can come in lots of different ways. Sometimes those of us who are caregivers of others or have taken on the responsibility, it's not a responsibility. It's like we have just stepped into this, like, I've got to do life and I'm going to figure out how to do this. And I've got to be strong and independent. A lot of us women who step into that particular role, sometimes we have a very difficult time receiving love, like really receiving love. And the way that lots of ways that love is expressed to us. So it's not just one way. And so even like asking for help or receiving help, we're so good at just giving and offering, but allowing people to take care of us can feel very, very challenging because we feel vulnerable. We feel vulnerable. And in somewhere we got the message that it makes us lesser, like we're weaker somehow because we say, hey, can I get a little bit of help, and to receive that, like in your whole heart, receive it. So Earth Angels, that message, let me see if there's any other message about that. Notice the Earth Angels in your life. Notice the Earth Angels in your life. You might be an Earth Angel to others. God, I have so many stories that I can share with you about Earth Angels that I think were long-term relationships and Earth Angels that were just literally an interaction that I had at Target. I have so many stories of people who just at random approach me to tell me something, to give me a message that for whatever reason I wasn't able to intuitively hear. Okay. And so notice those Earth Angels that show up for you, the ones that are already consistently in your life and the ones that might be those little tiny interactions that you have day to day. Okay, card number 2, Archangel Chamuel, which is interesting because this is about receiving love. I give as I receive. Archangel Chamuel he is the angel of love. Let me see what message comes in specifically about this card. Okay. I would not, if I was just a card reader, I would have taken it for face value. This is not what the message is here. The message for Archangel Chamuel is say what you need. Say what you need. Gosh, that goes into this too. Say what you need. And so the message, I'm going to kind of expand a little bit more on that. Hold on. Yeah. So sometimes we make assumptions that other people just should know what we need, should know what we want, because it's maybe what we do for them. And so they should know what I need to feel all the things, right? To feel loved, to feel appreciated, to feel happy, to feel, hold on, rested. That's a big one. It just like, boom, rested. So I'm going to tell you a quick story. This was something that I really had to learn with my husband, because he takes things very face value. And I would make assumptions that because he didn't do these things that I needed. Hi, Monica. He didn't do these things that I needed him to do or that I wanted him to do. Okay. And for me, that whole, hi, Sally, the whole, what are the love languages? Way back when I first heard of that, we did that little test together. And really, for a very long time, my love language was acts of service. And the truth of it is, it was because I was in a constant state of exhaustion. I was like juggling 15,000 balls at one time, trying to, I had run my own company and take care of a baby and, keep the house, clean. And so it was just a lot of balls to juggle. And for me, him helping, which now I don't even say that anymore, but for me, it was helping like with the things that needed to happen around the house. It's like, you live here. Like, this is your responsibility as well. And I remember feeling so frustrated because he didn't just know what needed to be done. He didn't know, right? And I was making a lot of assumptions about how he kind of processed information, the way he observed things, the way I was making a lot of assumptions. And I was taking it personal that he was just selfish and thinking only of himself. And so this whole idea of say what you need, I realized that I need to be explicitly clear. Like, this is what I need for this reason. Like, in order for me to feel balanced, at ease, in order for me to feel loved, this is what I need. And so when I started doing that, be very explicitly clear about what I needed, he was able to understand, okay, now I get. So when I do this, this is helpful in this way, for this reason, in this way. Okay. And so we often don't do this. We often make assumptions that the other person is going to know, even in work relationships. I think it's critically important to have like conversations. What is this partnership going to look like? What happens when there's conflict? What happens when we disagree with one another? We often don't do that. So the message from Archangel Chamuel for card number 2 is say what you need. Figure out what it is, what you need. And I will tell you can't even tell you actually, how many conversations I've had with people who say, I don't even really know what I need. Okay. And so that's the first step. Become aware of what your needs are, and then be willing to articulate them to the other person. Say what you need. Okay. Message from Archangel Chamuel for today. Card number 3 is inner guidance. The answers I seek are within me. In October, I am going to start I believe it's going to be a 4-week series on intuition. And what we're going to work on primarily is learning some of the skills to strengthen your intuition. Because I will tell you that every single person has inner guidance. Every person, because we have consciousness. So we have an inner guidance, an inner knowing. Now, some people who don't lean into spirituality will call this their subconscious. Those of us who lean into spirituality, I believe that this is my divine connection to all that is, to source, to love, to God, to consciousness. Like, it just is all. And this is the thread that actually connects us all. And so our inner guidance is accessible to us. The problem is we have all kinds of crap that's swimming around in our minds. And most people are so up in their heads about life, to-do lists, what didn't happen, what could have happened. It's just this spinning wheel of noise. And when you are in that intellectual space and you're just spinning and you're thinking and thinking and thinking and overthinking, you cannot access your inner guidance. You cannot. And then if you have trauma, it actually impacts your interpretation of your intuitive guidance. So we've got to clear all that stuff out. Got to clear all that stuff out. So the message, and hold on, let me stop for a moment to make sure I'm getting this message correctly. Okay. So all that to say, if you chose number 3, you're not listening to your guidance. You're letting fear step first. Fear is always going to step forward first. And let me tell you the difference between the two. Intuition is calm. Intuition doesn't waver in how there's no desperation in intuition. There's no hurry up. There's no, oh my goodness, I need to do this. There's none of that when you're tapping into your intuitive guidance. That typically comes from anxiety, anxiousness, fear. Okay. So if you're tapping into your knowing and it feels where you feel anxious, anxiety, desperation, that's not your intuition. Intuition always comes in calm. And there's a level of, it's neutral. There's a neutrality that comes with it. So, when you get that sense, this happens to me a lot, actually, when we're late for whatever reason, and there's like an accident that, we could have been, involved in had I left when we were supposed to leave, or I decide to go one way and not the other. And then I hear something happened. This happens to me a lot. When I get that sensation where, I'm just going to go this way, my daughter would be like, why are you going this way? We never go this way. I'm like, I don't know. I just feel like we need to go this way instead of that way. Even those that are kind of a little more, I guess someone would look from the outside, go, that's a little more alarming. It doesn't come in that way. It's just an intuitive knowing I should do this instead of this. Okay. So this is really, really, really important. It's one of the things that I'm going to talk about in my intuition series that starts in October. If you are tapping in and you're trying to listen to your inner guidance, listen to the voice that is calm. Okay. If you are in a frantic state or uncertainty is like just a little neurotic, that's fear. Okay. And that's driven by the ego, not by spirit, not by consciousness, not by love, not by our divinity. Okay. All right. So number 3. So I'm just going to recap Earth Angels. Card number 1, pay attention to who your Earth Angels are. A lot of us are Earth Angels for others. Like if you're here with me, the likelihood that you are, not just were, you are an Earth Angels for others is very, very high. It's very high because you would not have this level of awareness unless you are consciously in the space of being there for others and see your role in somebody else's life. So this message today is really to notice who your Earth Angels are in the large scheme of things. These are long-term relationships, but also those little moments that you might have at the grocery store, at Target, while getting gas. There are people who come into your life for a moment that are also your Earth Angel, but you have to be open to them. You have to be open to them because they do show up with messages. Archangel Chamuel was card number 2, and his message today was really about knowing what you need. Know what you need. Know what you need and say it. Articulate it. Please don't assume that people are going to know how to meet your needs. whether that be love, whether that be friendship, whether that be how to keep the house clean, all of the things. Say what you need. Okay. And then the third one is you are tapping in, or you are attempting to tap into your inner guidance. But if it is in frantic, or you're feeling a little trepidation when you do it, that's not your inner guidance. That's ego. That's fear. Okay. Inner guidance is always calm, always neutral, always loving. It never wavers, ever. It never comes in a freaky kind of scary way, ever. Okay. All right. Those are the 3 cards. And I am just reminding you once again, on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, I'm doing my series on forgiveness. And I'm super excited about it because it's something that I've actually worked on pretty extensively in my life, to come to a state of peace. Come to a state of peace. And I don't want anyone to feel, I guess my concern is like, we're going to start to try to unearth the really scary, horrible things that happened in your life. And that's not what my intent is. My intent is for us to grow an awareness of how our unwillingness, or the fact that we just haven't done it, forgiven people. And this could be people you work with. This could be your sister. This could be your mom. This could be a relationship that you're not even in anymore. But that baggage carries into the relationships that you have today. So we're not going to unpack the depths of like, oh my goodness, and that, because that scares people. I'm never going to push you into a situation that might feel overwhelming or scared. What I am going to do is help you understand how it impacts your life, and then give you some practical steps. There's I think it's 8 steps, might be 9 steps. I've developed my guide already, but we're going to go through it. And I'm going to facilitate the process of helping you be able to practice the journey of forgiveness. And the more you practice it, the easier it becomes. The more you practice it, the easier it becomes. You could start with, somebody gave you this snide little comment, maybe it's part of your friend group, and somebody gave you this little comment that you really, and you have a tendency to hold on to that for a little bit too long. And so it's like, how do you just release that? How do you just release that instead of suppressing it, pushing it down, dismissing it like, that didn't really she didn't mean it that way, even though it kind of felt like she did. So we're going to move through that journey together. So I'm excited about it. All right, everyone. Thank you for hanging with me. I hope you have a fabulous rest of your day.